Hello and welcome to Markets in Focus. My name is Joe Bell, and today I'm going to walk you through some of the most interesting financial market themes that I'm observing. So, tough week for U.S. stocks as the S&P 500 and bond market indexes were down significantly. Interest rates are definitely on the rise. In response to that, we've seen significant pessimism in the options market. And despite those higher rates, a lot of positive economic data, including U.S. housing starts and industrial production for the month of July. So as I said, stocks have fallen and rates are on the rise. Take a look at these charts. Through the end of July, from the beginning of the year, the S&P 500 was up nearly 21% with the Bloomberg U.S. Aggregate Bond Index, right? It's kind of the S&P 500 of bonds across the U.S., mostly investment grade, only up 2%. A lot of that has reversed course. The bond index giving up all of that, and then we're down 2.1%, while the S&P 500 is down nearly 5% during the month of August. Now, why is this significant? Well, when you look at it from a contrarian point of view, sentiment is starting to go on the rise. And what I mean by that is we view sentiment from a contrarian perspective. So when you typically see at market turning points, at the tailwind, if you will, near the top, the S&P 500 or stock market indexes are surrounded by a lot of optimism. Near market bottoms, you typically see the opposite. You don't have to look far. Take a look at the chart, and right there in the middle, that big spike there, that was at the start of 2023. We saw the put to call ratio. This is the SIBO 10-day put volume. Remember, bearish puts divided by bullish calls. That ratio was at its highest level in decades at the start of the year. Hindsight, very good buying opportunity, even though there was a significant, in fact, a historic amount of fear within the options market. What is it telling us now? Its height, it's not anywhere near like it was at the start of the year, but it has been increasing steadily and at its highest level since the beginning of May. Something to continue to monitor, but we are starting to see that healthy pessimism come back into the market that could potentially be a tailwind if we see it continue to rise. Now, one of the reasons rates continue to move, consumer remains very strong. A lot of the economic data remains very resilient as the labor market remains very tight. Take a look at this. Despite higher rates, U.S. housing starts during the month of July up 1%, or I'm sorry, 3.9% month over month. The U.S. industrial production up 1%, most notably the manufacturing portion of that data point up 0.5%. A lot of resiliency. What does this mean? Well, it gives a lot of credence to the fact that the Fed's going to continue to remain patient. That was the story of 2022, market anticipating the end of the Fed rate hikes, the Fed continuing to stick fast to their plan. Market is starting to take that in. We're seeing stocks sell off because they're starting to accept the fact that rates may stay higher for longer. Long term, there could be some consequences. History tells us the Fed typically overdoes it. We will have to see how far into 2024 the Fed keeps pushing rates higher. Now, ChatGPT, nothing new. This launched back in November of last year, but we are on the fall of a semester for college students going back, and professors are already saying it's become the #1 go-to source for college students to cheat, right? If you need to write a paper, you can ask ChatGPT, tell me what to write for this paper, and it will give you a well thought out answer. There are technologies out there and softwares that are aimed at identifying artificial intelligence, AI generated papers. They're not perfect. Other solutions have been differently worded questions that make it more difficult to answer. For example, a student being asked, what are some things that are missing within this sentence? I think AI will eventually catch up to some of those different types of questions. But my favorite, a throwback and such irony. One of the big solutions is a reversal back to pen and pencil and paper, right? Written test, written exams. We've come perhaps full circle as AI. How do we solve it? Written exams. So with that, I want to thank everyone for watching, and I will see you next week.